So our Team 2012 is an initiative based at small and medium-sized enterprises, companies who are looking at an involvement in 2012, looking at involvement to support the team and hopefully help put British athletes in the middle of the podium and winning medals when the games come to London in 2 years' time. Well, it's a £20,000 investment, £10,000 for each of the 2 years remaining. They get a huge amount of branding internally. They get to put the supporter of Team 2012 on their website and on their emails. They get to have invites to networking opportunities both in London and based locally. And they get to have interaction with athletes at sports events that are going to be happening between now and 2012. So, and I hope internally they'll take all that and say to the guys inside their company, this is what we're doing our bit. Because I think there is a big demand at the moment for how can we help? That's the question we get asked a lot, how can we help? Well, listen, I think it's you know, I think what you're pitching at is in this kind of economic climate, is it the right decision? And that's not something I can advise anybody on. But we hope we've pitched it at £10,000 a year. If that's a difficult decision and one that's going to make the difference between you surviving in a year or not, then it's definitely not for you. Of course not. But I think if you're talking about a relatively small number of employees, the benefits, the functions, the interaction with the athletes, the sports events tickets, the opportunity to come to London and come to the bigger events, all of those will be spread actually not very, quite thickly across your employees if you've got a small number. So the flip side is saying actually with a small company, everyone will get to grips with it. So I think there is an argument actually that the S of the SME is an important one too. I think we've got to be, what we've been very careful not to promise is something that we can't deliver, which is great, we're going to be sponsoring an athlete, a local company in Plymouth is saying, right, well we're going to get Tom Daley to come and open our new shop. That's absolutely not what we're promising. Athletes are busy people, they've got 2 years left before the most important race or event of their lives, and what we've got to be really careful is that the demand for high-profile athletes would, as soon as we ran a scheme like that, everyone would want Chris Hoy or Tom Daley to come and do their thing, which is completely understandable. But the fact is that one of the reasons we've all joined forces and put all the team together is that it's a strong entity in itself. Team 2012 means everybody who steps out with the rings on their shirt and Great Britain on their back is needing the support. And so what we're keen to do is, yes, we'll explore local avenues for people to meet and interact and support local athletes. But what we're definitely not talking about is, look, we're sponsoring them on an individual basis and they're going to come to lots of our events. That's not what we're about at all. Well, I think there are all sorts of things about sport which have a lot in common with being an entrepreneur. It's all about dedicating yourself to a goal. It's all about being very disciplined about your effort and doing the maximum amount you can each day, but not going too much. You want to maintain your energy across the whole effort. It's about working, even for an entrepreneur, it's about working within a team, and an athlete is very similar to that. Yes, you're the individual performer, but there's a network underneath you and you've got to rely on them, getting the right people involved in there. And at the end of the day, you've got to enjoy your success when it happens. And some athletes are so busy, saying, right, the next one, the next one, the next one, they never get a chance to say, well, that was great. So I think there's a huge parallels between the life of being an entrepreneur and being a sportsman.